Hello, viewers and subscribers. Welcome once again our new screencast. This is the screencast. Will be the multicast screencast. Is like that is the completely new screencast that we are trying to do. Like how can you program with the smart devices like Android or iOS OS systems, and that's the main idea because we already had some many screencasts about the web application or desktop application development based on the Java platform, Groovy platform, and Grails platforms. That was really big, uh, big, big projects. I mean that big screencast and big responsibility to share with you with different technology and different approach and different way of doing the projects. That's we are trying to our best to share with you what we got it the last couple of years to learn it from the industry, and we try to share with you. Let's go back to the our existing screencast or resources that we already have it, and those are those who are new in our channels. They can go to our UVSoftGroup channels, and then they can get it the previous screencast, what they have it, what we have already have it, and what's the use cases for your projects or your study or your research. You can pick up from there. So let's go back to the existing screencast, existing technologies or developments or demos applications. If you go to the UVSoft groups, you see that there is a many playlist, and we have different technologies based developments, and then combination of different technologies with desktop application development, even though in the web application development. That was the ideas for those screencasts. So if you go to this screencast, we already started like how can you program with the Java with WebGIS and WebGIS mapping with the different existing open source map libraries, JavaScript libraries like OpenLayers and Leaflets and other Google Maps libraries, and so on and so forth. This is one of the screencasts, and we already started some very beginner code because a lot of subscriber and beginner asking us, because this we did it like the professionals, all the professional screencast, and then the beginners, the students, they cannot did the real that they didn't pick the properly. And then we made a plan. Okay, we make some beginner lectures, like here the Java beginners to professional lectures. We already attach it here from very beginning level to the professional levels. How can you start the Java programming? So you can go to this the Java beginner and also the Java professional, beginner to professionals. And here we started like we you already know there's a many JavaScript based web development frameworks or technologies and tools. And then that's what we already did many examples with the JavaScript based. How can you JavaScript based WebGIS mapping programming, or very simple WebGIS programmings. And that's why the many subscribers and then viewers from those who are had experience, those who are responsible for the UI or GUI or front-end development, and then that's why they are asking us to how can they build a really professional and structured way to build the web development. And that's why we started already the screencast number. This is the JavaScript and JavaScript based framework and third-party JavaScript library integrations. You can also go there. So it has already six JavaScript based JavaScript and JavaScript based frameworks, integrations and development. How can you start from the JavaScript programming? with the basic HTML and CSS. That was the one of the really beginners, those who have no experience about the web development. That's why we already introduced this screencast. Those who are new from your side, they can follow this way, this screencast, and then we are continuing the further development. They can follow from this year, and we believe they can really we quickly pick up the web developments, I mean the GUI or front-end developments. So we go back to the again our playlist. So you have Java based development. Even though we started already, how can you start the buildings, the deploy the applications into the building the applications with the different building tools like Maven, Gradle, and then Ant, or the old technologies. Those who have no experience, they can also go with the this screencast with how can you build your applications based on the building tool like Maven, Gradle, and so on and so forth. That's I say there's the one of the example like that. If you start with the programming with Android or any mobile platform, basically the major building tools is Gradle. That's why the beginners for the freshers, they need to understand how the building tool works, and that's why we already introduced this screencast number 51. How can you start, how can you integrate, how can you inject the dependency, how can you manage the dependencies, all things into the screencast number. Java Groovy, Spring and Spring Boot building tools with the Maven and Gradle. So those has interest to building the application. Of course you need to build the applications as a standard or generic and as a standalone way, like jar, executable jar, or standalone jar files. For jar for the Android case, it is will be the APK files. That's your app store. You can install the app into your devices. That's the other way. But the building tools is maybe like that way. So if you go to our application that we are trying to talking about today, this is the applications to how can you start the Android development with the different geo functionalities, with the different mapping like OpenStreetMaps, and then also the Google Maps API. That's the idea today. We will continue from very beginning level to the end level. How can you start? How can you integrate? How can you install all the dependencies, and how can you run your Android application, and how can you run the application as a APK files into your simulator, emulators, and then also the real devices. That will show you step by step. That's I mean how can you start, and then how can you do, and all things we will do together. That's I mean that's the things that we are trying to do today, from very beginning level to the upper level, all the zoom in functionality, zoom out functionalities, those things together. That means we will cover from very beginning level to the end level. That's the intention for this screencast, with the different mapping libraries or mapping APIs, and then mapping SDK with the Google Maps API SDK, API and SDK, and also the Google OpenStreetMap SDK. I will do the same thing with the different mapping libraries like OpenStreetMap and Google Maps. That's the so let's go back to our existing resources that we have it. So we have a maybe building tools. You can get it from there, and even though there's many examples, many software applications or in tools, and then you can get it from a bit different microservice development with the different web services, different databases in SQL, non-SQL databases. Those who are interested for the web and then microservice or web and the REST API development, they can select what they would like to do. That's I said there's almost like 250 videos, different technologies for the microservice development, web application development, web application, and also the desktop applications, web application with the web GIS and WebGIS programming. That's the main idea for these channels. You can go this one. So we already started some examples like The title looked like the screencast number 39 with smart devices, Android sensor, GPS, GNS mobiling, mobile GIS application and mapping. This is the screencast that we already started. You can go this and then now